Hi everyone, it's QuickyBaby and welcome back to World of Tanks. And over the last month I have been playing through all of the worst tanks, Tech True tanks that is, at every single tier. And today we're going to be taking a look to see what the worst vehicles are at tier 9. So, in the last 30 days on the European server, what tier 9 tanks have the worst win ratio in the game? Well, it's one of the newest tanks, the M6Y, packing 46.01. Well done, America. You're completely winning in win ratio here when it comes to the M6Y. I guess one of the reasons why the M6Y has such a lackluster win ratio is that I think Wargaming seriously overthought how important the reserve track mechanic would be on these things' mobility. Sure, it helps a little bit, but does it mean that all of the other aspects of the vehicle can really just be worse than most of the other tanks? Unfortunately, I don't have all of the field mods on this vehicle, or any of them actually, because I'm still unlocking that 120mm caliber gun that I think is an inferior gun to be using on the M6Y. Anyway, without further ado, let's jump into this battle with an okay crew, I guess. Not really enough view range at 425 with vents, a turbo, and a gun ram. If I had a second build on this vehicle, I probably would end up using coated optics, maybe, for some certain maps, because I'm really not going to be spotting for myself at decent distances. But who knows, maybe I'll get onto a city map and then I can use all of my mediocre hull armor to be able to try and deal with my opponents. Well, at least my gun isn't too bad. The M6Y, when I first played it, was honestly one of the most disappointing things I think I've ever really had in World of Tanks. And that's because the tier 8 was phenomenal. I really liked the M3Y at tier 8. I'm not talking about the premium tank. That would, I believe, be the M4Y. I'm talking about the M3Y. And the M3Y inside the tech tree is actually really good. It's got a great turret. Doesn't have weak points on top like this one does. And it's got really good DPM. This one just doesn't really seem like a step up in any kind of regard. And I think, how far can you push alpha damage, you know? 320mm, well, 320 alpha damage with 251mm of pen. It's not bad at tier 9. But when you've got vehicles like the M103 that are packing true tier 10 heavy tank guns, and those ones are going to be buffed, this one's definitely going to be left in the dust a little bit. I think it just really struggles at trading. It struggles with really working a ridgeline, even though it has fairly good gun depression because of those huge weak points on top. You can't really sit still. You've got to be reactionary and try and take it to your opponents in that kind of regard. Luckily, however, I'm playing on Ghost Town and I get to defend against an assault, so at least the enemies are going to have to come at me. I can kind of side scrape in this vehicle, but if I do, it's not like the M5Y. The naming structure is very weird at tier 10. It actually gets a very thin hull and means that you can kind of side scrape fairly successfully. This one you've got to be a little bit more careful because the hull is quite huge. Alright, looks like there's somebody coming around the corner. Either that or somebody just shot that little minibus down. Must be somebody about to come around this corner, maybe somebody about to side scrape, and there we go. Start a shot off on the AE Phase 1. A vehicle that this tank has to compete with, which isn't exactly the most favourable situation for the vehicle. I'm going to have to start loading heat at that AE Phase 1. Looks like he missed me there and actually hit the corner. So I'm going to continue to aim at him, and I'm going to see if I can catch that weak point on top of his vehicle, if he's going to poke it up again. We'll have to see. There's a... Ooh, it nearly had his lower plate. Oh, I should have fired there, probably. So we've got a 7772 who's just coming across the middle of this map, and they can actually go into this corner and still be able to cap, which can be really bad. If the enemies start to pressure the cap circle and I have to drive across, then I leave myself maybe a little bit exposed. I'm not sure what this AE Phase 1 is doing. Maybe it's some kind of intimidation tactic. I'm trying not to be intimidated in this scenario, though. You have to come at me, mate. That's the name of the game. You're going to have to come at the QuickyBabs in the M6Y if you're going to want to try and take down this map. Assault. Definitely a game mode which I really actually enjoy. A lot of people don't like Assault in World of Tanks, but I think that the game is almost better when action is forced. It kind of means that you have to come together a little bit more to create a plan. Well, I'm not suggesting that you can't make a plan inside the standard game mode. It definitely feels like it's a lot more forced and you have to come together in the Assault game mode, which is just something I really enjoy. I think that's why in kind of Clan Wars, a lot of it is attack and defense, or is it all attack and defense? Let me know in the comments down below. It's been years since I played some Clan Wars. And I think changing the whole system of Clan Wars to be attack and defense, way back in the day, the esports game mode, the most competitive version of World of Tanks, which used to be like a 742 initially, and then they did start to move it up to tier 10. There wasn't any forced combat. It would basically be goodwill to see which team would actually try and attack, and of course, what happens when that happens? Well, neither team really wanted to attack. I'm trying to think about whether I should go around the corner here to go after this A phase one. He missed me. I will actually have the reload against him, and suddenly this vehicle's actually not looking too bad. Not looking too bad at all, as I managed to do 1,200 damage. Sorry, yeah, 1,274 damage to that vehicle. And the reserve track, even kind of useful that I could keep going without using my repair kit. Oh my word, M6Y. What is it when I play these vehicles that are meant to be the worst off at each tier, that they generally, at least tier 6 and 7 if you watch those videos, and tier 8 especially, I seem to be doing quite well in them. Maybe I'm just getting really lucky for YouTube. Well, hopefully I'm going to continue my luck today. I'm going to take my time. I've been streaming a lot recently, and I have to admit, when I've been streaming a lot, it does make me enjoy the game a little bit less. I've probably been streaming a little bit too much. I'm going to be taking a little bit time off streaming actually next week. But whenever I start, or whenever I'm making one of these live YouTube videos, it's definitely a lot easier to remain super positive and super energetic when you think that you're only going to play for like half an hour when you're commentating. Definitely. Looking forward to a little bit of time off though in August. But for all of you out there thinking like, oh no, are the YouTube videos going to stop? No, they won't. I'm actually pre-uploading a load of YouTube videos so that even when I'm taking my 2 weeks off, I'm going to actually be still releasing 4 YouTube videos a week. It's been a lot of work over the last month to be able to get the scheduling correct, and yeah, I hope you're going to enjoy it. I wonder if I'm spoiling it right now. I'm not even sure when this one's going to be released. I think this one will probably end up being released on a Friday in August. So yeah, I truly will be well away. Hopefully in a swimming pool with a drink in hand, just having a good old relax. It's something that I haven't done in a very long time. Last time I took more than about 3 days off was, I guess I went skiing just before the pandemic started in 2020. Quite fortunate timing that I went away in January, late January, early February of that year. Definitely had fond memories of that trip all the way through the pandemic. But yeah, I have me and Tanya haven't had an opportunity. Well, we have had lots of opportunities, but it's just, I love what I'm doing so much with YouTube and with Twitch. But I feel like it's about time. So we're looking forward to it. Alright, so this game's still pretty close right now. T103 seems to want to push the gap. He's going after the A phase one. I'm thinking about crossing, but I don't want to get caught by those vehicles. But I do feel like I have to go after this T103. If you hug the side here, you can't actually get shot from above, which is kind of useful. I'm going to hopefully get into a position to start to punish this player. Right into the tracks. Do I track him? Yes, I do. Got to watch out in case a Borask comes behind me. Well, this is a big shot. Oh, never mind. It didn't need to be a big shot, just a bit of a chill. And suddenly this game is starting to blow wide open. Hopefully don't get shot from the Cobra up there. Where are they coming from? Let's go after this Conway. Looks like he's stuck. Is he going down that alleyway? Is he not going down that alleyway? He is going down that alleyway. You know what? I think I'm going to chase him. And because I got the turbo in this tank... excuse me, sorry, I don't know where that came from. I should be able to come after this Conway and give him a little bit of a zap from behind. And a nice roll there. Decent enough. Alright. Well, I've actually got exceedingly large amounts of my hit points left. Oh. Is that ISU going to fall to the Char? Ah, Char got him. Well played, Char. You've got a CS52 least problem above you, though, mate. See if I can help you with that. I've actually got an exceedingly large amount of hit points left at the end of this game. What is up with that? It's always interesting in World of Tanks when the games just suddenly have that crescendo kind of moment where it all comes into effect, and quite often hit points will just absolutely fall ridiculously quickly later on in the battle. I think it's when one team in Assault either has to attack, or alternatively it's where one team kind of gets an overmatch on their opponents. As soon as you've got more guns than the enemy team, and your team gets that kind of confidence, they're willing to make those aggressive plays, willing to kind of take the fight to the enemy team and be a little bit progressive. Alright, so I don't want to go too close to the Cobra so that the Cobra is going to be able to hit me. I'll actually fire a blind shot maybe at him on the way. See if I can get him in a little bit. Looks like their artillery might be in the corner, and oh, we just actually found out where the Cobra is. Dang, this vehicle is not fast, is it? I don't have all of the field mods yet, but just doesn't really feel very quick. It's not horrendously slow. I don't think anyone could ever call this tank horrendously slow, but it's just so average. So average, boys and girls. My gunner's dead to that HE splash. It's not going to stop me though. Trying to stop me with my turret traverse. 3,700 damage. We're going to leave no one alive though, hopefully. Even a dead gunner can't stop me from claiming that Cobra. 4,000 with 651 assistance. Oh dear goodness. Why is it happening again, YouTube? Why is it happening again? The LC takes my kill. Nah, it wasn't really mine. Didn't have my name on anything. Why is it happening again? That I'm playing these vehicles that are supposedly meant to be kind of the worst, and we're seemingly doing quite well in them. I guess I'm just lucky. Maybe YouTube is lucky. I think you are all lucky. You're all giving me your positive results and positive energy. And that's it. I need to just stop streaming on Twitch and just do it on YouTube the whole time. Right, I'll take it. 4,000 damage. We're number 1 in experience, number 1 on damage as well. We're going to boost that up so we can eventually be able to get that 120mm American British gun, which is worse in pretty much every single way apart from 80 Alpha. You should definitely not use that gun, at least in my opinion. Alright, so we just played the worst heavy. Let's play the worst medium, and it's the Batchat 25 TAP. This vehicle is so darn forgettable. Why would anyone ever play this when you could just play a Char Future 4, which is actually a really good vehicle, which gets a free large repair kit, and you can use your crew from another tank? Yeah, this crew isn't really going to win any prizes. I'm going to use vents, vert stabs, and coated optics on this tank, and I'm going to do a little bit of a cry as I try to play with this absolutely horrendous crew on this tank. But maybe I'm going to be able to deal with it. Alright, so we've ended up on a pretty tragic map for a pretty tragic tank. I got 41 seconds to reload, and then I'm going to have to try and play like a support vehicle. So I don't really have the camo, I don't really have the view range, I don't really have the gun depression, I definitely don't have the armor. What do I have? Well, a big old mag. This thing has 1,800 damage spread amongst its 6 rounds. It's kind of like a 5100 at a higher tier. Or you could argue the 5100 is this tank at a lower tier, but considering the 5100 has been in the game for longer, I don't think that's a fair assessment. I'm just going to have to reload for as long as I can and then just hope, ladies and gents, hope that something makes a mistake. Hope that something gets itself isolated. Hope that I've got a team that I can support. Because, you know what, battles have been won and lost in the first 40 seconds, so I'm not going to have a reload until then. Imagine if that Cobra finds me. That would be one of the most ugly things that could possibly happen, I believe. So we spotted a T-49 there. I'm really worried about getting spotted. I'm going to have to fall back. I'm definitely going to get spotted. I'll probably get one shot. So let's drop back. I'm nearly fully loaded now. Kind of worried that there's a Cobra and a 5120 there. Those are not fun tanks to get caught out by. Nobody wants to get caught by a 5120 or a Cobra, and there he is. I literally just... I mean, you couldn't be any closer to missing my tank. But I just got obliterated. Oh, it's a terrifying prospect to have to play against a Cobra. Man, I thought the M6Y was tragic. Now having to play this. Thinking about, can I get away and then try and help on another flank? I might be able to. I just really don't feel very comfortable being that far forwards. Don't want to bump into this Cobra, but I want to try and get safe. I just got to play like a support vehicle. I honestly think that if I get caught right now, it's just going to be horrendous. Ooh, 5120 EBR. Can you see me? What a shame. What an absolute shame that we managed to catch that 50... Not the 5120, the EBR. Alright, well at least I put in one shot. Not going to have a 0 damage game in this one, old sport, even if we are playing this Batchat. I think I can probably be useful over here. I think I can probably be useful against these heavies. This is a good support vehicle, and as long as I wait for other people to commit, I should be able to dive in and be a little bit cheeky. At least that's my plan. Are there any tank destroyers that aren't spotted? Doesn't look like it. Looks like everything's spotted. What do you think's stopping me from going down the western flank and trying to help out the 780? I don't think there's much that's stopping me. I think this was actually a pretty blessed flank to switch to. Kind because I think I could make the difference against these TDs, or against this 277. And I don't think I was going to make the difference down the other flank, that's for sure. Plus, they got an E100 at the back, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to swing round. Now that I've heard both of these tanks are fired, I'm just going to go in. I'll tank a shot, that's fine. That's how the game works. Get a shot in. Miss his lower plate. T-57 heavy kind of misses. Oh, no, 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 no. You does. He does not want to shoot me. Where's that arty going? Is he trying to run? Or is he just going to stay behind the buildings? Oh, I got another shot in E100. Oh, I missed the second one, though. Well, I hit him, but I bounced off the... So, unfortunately, it looks like that this shot was so bad. A shot in E100. Oh, I missed the second one, though. Well, I hit him, but I bounced off the... That it actually, bloomin' well, crashed my computer. Can you honestly believe it? So, maybe you think that I rage quit because I had a bad game in the Batchat 25 TAP. Well, this is YouTube Live. The show must go on. Unfortunately, I can't show you the results for the Batchat 25 TAP, but luckily my team went on to win the battle and we got ourselves a third-class medal. Okay, I literally just went and changed out the 2 RAM sticks that I've got in my computer because I think that these are causing my crashes. And so we'll find out today whether that's actually going to be the case or not. Alright, so Batchat so bad it crashed my PC. So we've played a bad heavy tank, we've played a bad medium tank. Now I guess we're moving on to a tank destroyer. And this is amazing. The Object 704 has the worst win ratio of any of the tier 9 tank destroyers. And that's bizarre to me because this vehicle, it was one of the original tank destroyers in World of Tanks. Literally the original top tier Soviet heavy tank. And even to this day, I still kind of enjoy it. It's got a big gun. It claps. I don't have many of the field mods, but I actually do have the reinforced suspension on this vehicle, so that's definitely going to help me to be able to get around. If I had the second set of equipment, I would probably have a build where not only I have vents, gun rammer, and binoculars, I probably have a build where maybe I whack on a turbo and maybe even improved hardening for when you want to play on those kind of city maps. Anyway, touch wood. As I hoped that the RAM was going to be the issues. And I'm also really hoping the RAM was the issues, because yesterday on my stream, I must have crashed like 3 or 4 times. It's so bizarre, though. Okay, I'll tell you a full story. So my main rig, I'm currently playing on my travel PC, which I've been using for the last month. My main rig was having issues. The same issues which just became apparent yesterday. And the exact same issues. So I took the RAM out, and I put my backup RAM in. And it didn't seem to really fix anything on the main PC. Then I put these RAM sticks, the ones that were causing the issue, on the main PC and the travel PC, and then they worked for about 100 hours absolutely flawlessly. And then boom, yesterday everything was going haywire. So unless it was like Windows Update trying to troll me once again, Windows Update. But we'll find out. I really hope it's going to. I hope it's going to work today, though. If it's going to work now, I am going to be a very happy camper, to say the least. That's the last thing that I want as I'm going on holiday is to not have an actual PC that I can kind of stream on. Ugh, that won't be very good. Maybe it's just an elaborate story by me to try and get out of that Batchat 25 TAP game as quickly as I possibly could. Alright, well unfortunately our team is saying that the LT-432 is AFK, which is not great when your light tank's AFK, but you know what, maybe he's got some important things going on, or maybe he just didn't load into the battle quite quick enough. Maybe his PC is crashing and he had to go and change all of the RAM out as quickly as possible to be able to continue to make his YouTube video for today, right? Maybe, possibly. Maybe that's what he's done. Alright, come on. I wanna slap some tanks. Oh, I could have shot that Yak Tiger 88 there. I think I want to go forwards into the bush. The bushes are just too confusing, man. Too confusing for my brain. Oh, Type 61. Should have been able to hit him. But then again, if I go into the bushes, then I can't really shoot through the bushes quickly. I should have hit that one. He was going backwards very quickly for a Type 61. That's a misplay by me. I should have really given a little bit more lead. Oh, talking about misplay. What is that? Is that an Elc Even 90 that's trying to sneak up on me? If they spot me, I am not going to be very well at all for my Object 704. Oh, where do we aim right now? For the ELC? Do we aim for the Ag Tiger? Do we aim for the Foch? Who shall we manage to try and get? Choices. Sometimes you don't have choices. That bloomin' ELC is trying to leave again. Wish I had intuition to be able to put an HE shell in here. Wow, this thing's traverse speed is a lot longer than I remember it. I know I'm probably on medium terrain right now, but this thing takes a long time to be able to turn and a good amount of time to be able to aim. But maybe, just maybe. Well, I was hoping it was going to be a good bit of action for when we hit. We actually hit really hard. This could be a very long-winded game. I've missed definitely a couple of opportunities. If I was 100% on it, I probably could be up to about 1,500 damage so far in this battle. And that's significant, because if I could have been up on 1,500 damage, my team would have definitely not been so far behind. Somebody just entered the cap circle, even though I'm set up here with binoculars. Makes me think that it's an ELC who's over there. Oh, so many opportunities. Who shall I get? Skoda? Lorraine? I can't make up my mind. It's too much of a target-rich environment right now. I can't even be able to get that Skoda over there. My Batchat's going in. I'm going to help the Batchat out. I'm going to reverse because I'm most likely going to get spotted here. Try and keep my armor towards the tortoise. While this thing doesn't have the best of armor, it's still not too shabby. You should definitely try and keep the thick part of your vehicle towards your opponents. Why is my T-44 struggling to be able to take out a Skoda who's so low on hit points? Well, I will finish them off. And I'm not sure if I'm still spotted or not by that Skoda there. I do think that they should have been able to see me. Alright, so this is pretty neck and neck stuff right now. I'm just hoping that I can be able to come across to maybe catch some shells. And it looks like I am still spotted then. With the Panther 88 either blind firing me, or maybe the ELC has actually managed to get some more vision on this. I'm pretty sure I'm spotted from the ELC who's gone into the cap circle. I don't really feel like I can rush down into the cap circle, so all I'm going to do is I'm just going to sit here. Am I still spotted even now from the ELC who must be sitting in those bushes? Well, that's what 58% camo rating looks like, right, boys and girls? Ooh, that's horrific. Horrific. I'll tell you, well, obviously my team knows, but I think there's like an ELC in cap. Could be quite tricky. I can't really go too much further forwards. I could get hit really badly by the TDs. Oh, there's a Panther 88 who's actually sitting right out in the open, and that's just too delicious. How can I not? Well, I tried so hard to miss. Okay, I got spotted there. The Type 61's still in that position, but he's undergunned. He's using the little gun. So he's got nice rate of fire, but not very much alpha damage. Obviously don't need the alpha damage to be able to get me still, though. Nice shot, Mr. Type 61. I gotta be careful. I got spotted again. Boys and girls, must be this ELC Even 90 just chilling. I think my team are about to make a move on the ELC, though. I'm trying to think about where he would be. If he's in the cap, he's probably sitting in, like, this tiny little bush here. I think I should be able to sneak up here, but if I get spotted again, I don't have a repair kit anymore. Do you think he's sitting just in that bush? He probably could be. Can I hit that Jagdtiger 88? Oh, I definitely can. I definitely won't know for at least a couple of minutes. Got spotted again. Sorry, Mr. Scorpion. Is anyone actually going to be able to stop this ELC from capping? At least I got the Jagdtiger 88 to fall back. So I got hit by a Type 61. I got hit by a Panther 88. Oh, please don't do it to me. Trying to blind fire me again. Maybe they're trying to regular fire me, but I feel like I've got to get some shots in. Can you honestly believe this T-44? There he was, in that bush that whole time. What an absolute little troll. Well, take this, troll. Unfortunately, my shell just goes into the ether. Unbelievable. I guess I should have blind fired the bush. I guess I could have tried to figure it out, but honestly, an ELC Even 90, if he's using a camo net, could literally sit anywhere in there. If he can get about at least about 60% or more camo in an ELC Even 90 with a camo net, just where sitting stationary. Absolute little trolls of tanks. So I've got to watch out. The Panther 88 and friends have been definitely taking some big old chunks out of me. I guess it's just going to be a case now of trying to be the big boy ambush TD. 9 minutes left on this game, so I've got more than enough time to be able to play around with. Can I catch that CS52 lease? I don't think I can. I'm so close. Maybe if he reverses, I can. Maybe if he panic reverses, I can still be able to get him. No. Oh, Panther 88, Panther 88, Panther 88, Panther 88. Revenge shell, revenge shell, revenge. I mean, how much is too much aiming in a Object 704? Am I right? How much is too much aiming? I'm starting to see why this thing has such a bad win ratio. It definitely doesn't feel like it's the reactionary tank. Maybe I'm just bad. Maybe I just got bad in the 704. Or is it that all of the other vehicles have got better? And this one just hasn't been changed since pretty much the day it was in the game. This vehicle has always been kind of like the forgotten brother of the ISU 152 until they removed the BL10 from the ISU 152. For a while, nobody would really want to ever play this vehicle because you could have the same gun at a lower tier, and usually when you have the same gun at a lower tier, it works out really well for the lower tier tank rather than the bigger brother in this example. I still like the 704. This is definitely one of the more lackluster games I've had in this vehicle in a while, but it's okay. It's okay. All we need is a couple more shots, and we've had an okay round. If we can get a couple of shots. Plus, maybe we even hit that Yak Tiger 88 earlier. So I don't really want to drive into that bush where that Scorpion is. It's going to be a little bit of a mean thing to do. Mean-spirited thing to do. Maybe I can drop in here and then try and sneak up. That doesn't really look like a good opportunity, does it? What am I going to do with my gun depression in that position? I think I'm just going to have to look after the cap circle here. I think I'm just going to try and get into a position, try and be ready for if somebody has to try and push. I might even try and knock down a tree to remain hidden here. Hopefully this tree gives me the camera rating that I need. Or it won't give me the camera rating that I need if I drive that far forwards. Maybe if I knock down this tree might protect me. It's a tiny little tree though. I mean, is this really going to conceal my big old 704? Maybe. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. I'm just role-playing like an Elc Even 90 in a bush. That's exactly what I'm doing. Why you camping, says the Udares. Dude, let them just cap. Let them cap out in this situation. We've got 6 minutes left. Tortoise is over there on 2,140 hit points. And why are they attacking right now? All we have to do is hold the line and just let the T-44 cap out. That's all we got to do, and just hope that the artillery isn't going to be able to hit the T-44. Kind of interested where this CS-52 Lease is going to appear. Let me think about where he would appear. Where would the CS-52 Lease appear? He's probably going to try and jet it along there to try and get to that plateau to be able to spot. Although my team is doing a pretty good job now, so even I feel like being a little bit greedy and getting forwards. Hopefully I'm not going to regret this. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. Also, I'm literally just sitting here like touch wood, hoping that I have found what was the issue, and that will be the memory. I don't know what I'm going to do, man. I paid a lot of money for that memory. It's like some really good stuff. And it's just not right to have expensive hardware that just doesn't work. I don't think I'm ever going to get, shall we say, very overclocked memory ever again. Oh, that was a really bad shot. I should have timed that one in a lot better. I should stop thinking about the memory and start thinking about my shots, right? Yeah, I don't think I'm ever going to get overclocked memory ever again. Because just for the hassle and the heartache for that kind of like 1 or 2% performance, it just really doesn't seem worth it, boys and girls. I think there are gains to be made when it comes to the overclocking CPUs, gains to be made when it comes to overclocking your graphics cards, but memory troubles, let me tell you, they are hard to pin down. Of course, I've only been playing for about 10 minutes on these sticks, so I might be a little bit too early to be celebrating. But more or less we're going to see with the stream tomorrow. Alright, so I actually ended up with 2,200 damage in that game. Look, it's not a great result for my Object 704. I usually do way better in this vehicle. I should have aimed a lot better. I should have had at least 3,000, if not more, damage in this game. And it kind of disappoints me. I'm kind of happy that I've got kind of my old school statistics in my 704 with my 64% wins, 3,000 damage, and 1.8 kills a game. I'm not sure I could really maintain that these days. But I'll try, at least in that disappointing game on Malinovka. Alright, so we have played the M6Y. We have played in the Object 704. And we have even played in the Batchat 25T AP, which was literally cursed. Alright, so let's play the worst light tank. And oh, this is kind of going to be a fun one. Honestly, I get to play a T-49. Amazing. America, what is up with having so many vehicles in these worst of lists? We're going to be playing the T-49. And I like to play the T-49 with the derp. Now, full disclosure, there are two ways that you can play this tank. One with the 90mm and one with the derp. I feel like the 90mm is the best way to play. With the high explosive nerfs, I just don't feel like you get that much value from the 152 like you used to. However, there are some ways that you can actually make the T-49 still playable. Number one, accuracy module. Third stabs and vents. I think this is a great way to be able to set up the tank. It gives you the maximum amount of accuracy that you're going to have. Also, one thing that is amazing on this vehicle is actually steady hand. It does cost you 10,000 credits a game, or if you buy them in bulk, you can get them for 9,000 credits a game But what it does is actually doubles the effect of snapshot. And that will mean that you actually get 15% reduced dispersion on the turret traverse, which will combine also with the vertical stabilizers on this tank. And considering that if we go and take a look at the stats of the T-49, one of the bizarre things about this vehicle is that when you change the gun from the 90mm to the 152, the moving dispersion doesn't actually change. It's only the turret traverse dispersion that changes to 0.35, which is absolutely horrendous, of course. And so by taking snapshot and also by taking that directive that improves the snapshot even more, that means that we can actually drive around with full accuracy. Well, not full accuracy, but almost like we're more of a medium tank rather than a big derpy vehicle. Okay, so one thing that I like to do in the T-49, accordingly, is if I lock my turret, look at how small my reticle is going to be on the screen. It's actually quite small. Look at that for a derp gun. It's actually very small for a derp gun. Now look what happens when I turn the turret. Look how much that blooms out instead. When I turn the turret, you see how big the reticle gets, but if I don't turn the turret at all, do you see how small it gets? And that's because of the huge disparity between the rounds on the vehicle. Now I have intuition on this tank, which does allow me to be able to switch between the shells quickly, and I need to decide about what kind of vehicle I'm going to meet up here. Am I going to meet the EBR-90? Am I going to meet the Cobra? Am I going to meet a T-54 lightweight? And you can see when I turn my turret there, oh, it got bad. So try not to turn your turret more than you need to. Oh, SDB-1, if I can hit your hull, it'll be... Oh, EBR, EBR, oh, EBR, 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 EBR. Oh, it's so greedy, so greedy. Oh, no, 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 no. I'm going to try and get the SDB-1, though. 252, it's not good. It's not bad. Wish I'd been able to hit that EBR with a derp gun. But let's not race this game. Let's take our time. So it's not only high... Ugh. Yeah, he took his time, not. It's not only the high explosive rounds on this vehicle that are kind of good. You've also got heat rounds. They do 700 alpha damage with 152mm of pen, and they don't lose any penetration over distance. And considering that you've now got ways to improve the accuracy of the vehicle, they're not actually the worst thing that you probably could get your hands on. I'm going to try derping this SDB-1 in the turret again. I actually hit 374 to his turret and did a critical hit as well. That's pretty meaty. Tier 10 tanks don't want to take that. I actually did more damage to him than he would have done to me if he hadn't high rolled, but he did. What's this Cobra thinking down here as well? That thing's got horrible side armor. I might even be able to penetrate that. What's my shell velocity? 683. You can really tell I'm not playing the kinds of vehicles that I usually play World of Tanks with. But maybe I can get this Utes. Maybe I can get this Utes just about there. No, I can't quite get the top of his turret. What's this? All of their scary TDs are making their way up this slope. My Foch B is kind of reloading. All right, I'm going to switch to a heat round, I believe. I don't think this Cobra has seen me. No, he has. He clearly has. He's sticking his turret up at me. Do we have time to slow play this, though? I'm not sure we do. Is the Cobra going to start to run? Maybe. Got to watch out with getting hit by this Cobra. I'm going to try and get this UDES right now. There we go. Derp guns. Oh, please, mate. Let's go. Let's go. Let's get out of here. Derp guns in the house. 602 damage dealt to the Utes. There's one shell. I think he's reloading. Maybe he reloads. Foch is going to get him before I do. Yeah. Oh, EBR o'clock. Where's he going? Is he running? Oh, he is. No, those medium tanks are going to come after me. I think this was a really bad misplay. I think I need to get out of here and try and, like, derp some other place of the map. Is he going to come towards me? Oh, he's thinking about it. I think he spotted me there, though. Either that or I'm lit up the whole time. Got to watch out for that. Come on. Can we get back? Can we run away? Can we go and live to fight another day? Maybe. Possibly. Possibly. Oh, nice. Oh, my lord. It doesn't look like we get to live to fight another day. Great shot by the T-110E4, APCR round from a few hundred meters away, and the T-49 was just too fat. But ladies and gents, I just don't think that with the crash that this video has had quite enough. So I think I'm going to double dip on the T-49. Let's let this battle pan out. I'm pretty sure the enemy team are going to win, and then I'm going to go for another T-49 round because, let's be honest, this can be a very funny tank. Let's see if I can manage one. So alas, my team gave it their best shot, but we just weren't good enough here. Also, well played to the platoon on the enemy team. Looks like they were some good players. The EBR had some good pressure, good map presence, and their T-110E4 pushed a relevant heavy flank and won the game with it. Very surprised to see the T110E4 and the Jagdpanzer E100 up on that flank, and that's just the kinds of vehicles that you can't really deal with when you're playing this derpy gun, at least when you get to fight them frontally. Yeah, awesome stuff. Great players in the E4. Well done to the EBR as well. Hard to be able to compete with that kind of pressure when a lot of your top tier players just aren't really doing the same kind of presence. And while we did more than the T-54 lightweight, who didn't even fire a shot in that battle, it just wasn't enough. Anyway, let's get stuck in one more time for the T-49. I believe. That was too fast of a game. I know we got some better T-49 action. This vehicle, I fondly remember, used to be one of the most fun tanks to play in a platoon. I absolutely have awesome memories playing with Phil and playing with John in these tanks. We should definitely do another T-49 derp platoon. And even though with the HE nerfs, I don't think they're probably going to be the most competitive tanks we've ever played in our lives anymore. At least with regards to the win ratio. That's the whole point of this video, that we're playing the worst tanks, right? I still think they can be at least some of the most fun. So in this kind of a situation, I'm always wondering, like, do I play like a full light tank, or do I play more like a damage support? Kind of thinking that maybe I could go down the northeast, but I think really if you're a light tank, it's your kind of duty to try and spot in the middle a little bit, right? So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start with an HE shell because I might be able to land it into a 1390 or even an ELC if they make a blaring mistake. But again, without the second set of equipment on this vehicle, I'm not able to switch out to use a commander's vision system. And on this kind of a map, I probably would like to use a vision system, but that kind of defeats the point of having the derp gun, right? And I think that's why the 90mm probably does better, that you can play the 90mm without kind of having to set your vehicle up in such a weird way, and it will just end up being more effective. Like you could use coated optics and a vision system and an exhaust for one of your builds. You don't feel like you're just making your gun absolutely horrendous by not taking the accuracy on it. And the vert stabs especially. Probably wouldn't even use the vert stabs on the 90mm on this tank. Oh my lord, did I just get an opportunity here? Yeah, YouTube, told you I'd get you a little bit more. That's a low roll, by the way. Only 750 damage dealt out of 910. That is a low roll. That's not what we want. Minus 160 on that shell. Still, it's a good start for this battle. Literally half-healthed that medium tank. We didn't do any spotting to the 1390 though, so it looks like it was probably the Borasks behind me that were actually getting the vision. Oh, what's that TVP doing? God, look at that bloom on this turret. It's absolutely horrendous. I can imagine this thing with the field mods is actually kind of fun. Maybe one day I'll be able to get all of the field mods on these tier 9s. I'm going to try it again. Oh, it just went high. Am I spotted? Yeah, I'm spotted. Wow, that Kampfpanzer actually just got spotted trying to take a swipe at me. You know what? That other flank just looks so darn delicious. I'm going to drop back from this position. I might get spotted by the 1390. Certainly my turret doesn't really make too much of a difference in this vehicle. I think I'll be far enough away from him now, even though I don't have the best of camo rating in this vehicle, and I wasn't. Oof, got spotted. That's not cool. But I think I can play like a support role. That's what I love to do in this vehicle, is to play that support role. It's quite nice at being like that shock tank. Drive, get the side of your opponents, try and get the rear, try and create a bit of chaos in the enemy lines. That's what I love to do in a T-49, right? You've got that ambush potential at the front, and then you've got the kind of the shock and awe T-49, gonna one-shot you, cause some absolute grief as well. I don't think I can really derp this one on the move. Let's take a look to see where he is. Oh, behind a rock, are you? You're hiding behind a rock, old boy. Well, he's definitely gonna go forwards into that bush. Oh, this is 900 damage with my name on it. But that Cobra is also going to probably do some pretty tasty stuff. All right, I'll put one into him and then the Cobra can finish him off. Sounds good? Ooh, 1,000 damage. Okay, so we roll for 750 with the first one and then 1,030 with the second one. Oh, mate. That's not what you want to see, right? Where's the T95? Where's the Char Future 4? That's what we got a question right now. Alright, let's make our way up here. Somebody's pinging up there as if there's a Char Future 4. A Leopard and a CS. I'm not going to stop for now. I'm going to try and get into this position. Then maybe I can shoot this Leopard as he crosses. I'm going to have a good old dirt round here. What's up, dude? Maybe, just maybe? That's not penetrating shot, but it's 450 damage. Oh no, everybody's going to be in the YouTube comments. See, QuickyBaby? See? It's still a good tank. Yeah, maybe. Maybe you get fortunate and you get to shoot some glass cannon kinds of tanks. How did I get spotted there? Leopard must have seen me just as I came around the corner. I don't think I can get this T-95, but here we go. You see what I'm saying about you just use the movement, don't turn the traverse. Where shall I shoot him? Maybe in the side, roughly? Just in the front? I think that was 6,000 credits that didn't do a lot there, boys and girls. Maybe this T-95 won't shoot me. Maybe he has mercy on American tanks, possibly. I'll tell you what, if he has... Oh, he's using the 120mm. That means he's got a real good rate of fire. Hopefully he tries to shoot someone else, and I'll just give him another one. Oh, that's not good. Should have had him there. 2,200 damage this game, though, so far. Not too shabby. And hopefully we've got enough hit points to be able to deliver a round of justice to some of these heavies at the end of the game, but I think those Borasks are going to get there first. My word, Wargaming just sold Borasks, and I can tell you, there are some voracious heavy tanks going around as a battlefield. Maybe I can get this a mill. Shoot him in the hull armor, should be a kill, right? Well, I was going to try and ram him. Oh, my lord. Anyway, that's the T-49. 2,500 damage and 400 assistance. It's all right. It's not an amazing round. Quite a quick set of games today. Then again, the Object 704 was a little bit chill, and the M6Y was also not a bad result. And touch wood, it looks like the memory might have been the issue on the PC, which makes me very happy to know that. So I'm number 1 on damage, mid-table on experience, definitely going to boost that round. And that's actually going to give us access to a couple of field mods on this vehicle. Awesome. So what are we going to take? Are we going to go for the top speed, or are we going to go for the power to weight? I'm going to go for the top speed on this tank. I feel like it's got a great power to weight ratio, and I want to be able to go up at 67 kilometers an hour. I think that's going to be for the best. All right, so that was my session today. 80% wins, 2,500 average combined. Definitely not the best kind of combines, but not a bad run of games, all things considered, in what are, statistically speaking, the weakest of the tier 9 tanks. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that was it for today. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you hated it, give it a thumbs down. And let me know in the comments down below if you're surprised by any of these tanks making this list, and any tanks that didn't make this list that you thought would be on it. And let me know in the comments down below if you are still a die-hard T-49 lover. Do you think it's actually a great vehicle and it just isn't given the attention that it deserves? And as always, thank you so much for watching. You've been epic, and hopefully I'll see you soon.